Every team has a leader, and Lawrence County's leader in hometown banking is Farmers State Bank, proudly supporting local high school football. Farmers State Bank salutes those who make our community great by working hard to make Friday night football happen. Best wishes for the 2018 football season. Go Irish! Go Falcons! Go Crusaders! Go Raiders! And count on the team at Farmers State Bank, Lawrence County's leader in hometown banking. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. West Lawn's Rated Coaches Show brought to you in part by Dr. Jackson Fordham, DMD. Call for an appointment today. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, out to West Lawrence High School, where we caught up with head coach Kagan McLean, and we're going to talk a little football this week at West Lawrence. So here at the high school, it's been a week that's been very different this past week, Coach. With the storm coming through, that threw everybody off, and you think you have an extra week, a week off, a week to kind of take a break, or a week to work on some things with young people who are getting better. And lo and behold, that set you back. I think you practiced like one day.
Yeah, we had a hard time last week. We practiced on Tuesday. The plan was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's our off week routine. Then Wednesday we had a half day, and they didn't want us keeping kids after. And then Thursday there was no activities allowed at all, obviously, with the hurricane and everything. And we were able to get some other little things done, but we didn't have any normal practices last week like we planned on it.
Yeah.
So it was more of a true off week,
Yeah.
But we had some guys injured, so it was good to get those guys healthy, get those guys some time to let their bodies recuperate. And we've had two good practices this week to start the week out, Monday and Tuesday. So I feel pretty good going forward.
Okay, so who were we trying to get to recoup? Who was still banged up?
EJ Holmes been battling an ankle injury all year.
How's that?
He's doing better.
Is he cutting and moving pretty well?
Yeah, he's I don't think he's 100%, but he's a lot better than he was.
Yeah.
And so I think he's going to be okay. Jalen Baker came off having his knee scoped, so having another extra a few days to kind of let that heal up, I think is going to be good for him.
Yeah.
And just some minor nagging things here and there, but it looks like everybody should be back. Won't be 100% with everybody, but I think we'll be better than we have been, in a while. It's that point in the season when everybody's fighting the little bangs and the nicks and the dings, and you just got to kind of push through. Football's a physical sport, and you just got to kind of get through this time of the year. Everybody's dealing with it. So.
Yeah. And we talk about the difference in offense and defense a lot of times, Coach. And when you play defense, you are going to be banged up. You are going to be bruised. Something's going to hurt on you because you're passing a lot of licks. You're constantly hitting. It's different on offense, especially when you get to, like receivers and such.
Right.
So I say all that to kind of set up the question to ask you about McKinley Kemp.
Yeah, he's done a lot better. He hadn't had any shoulder injuries. He's focused a lot more on offense with his shoulder problems that he's had, just because defensively coming downhill and hitting is just tough when you're dealing with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, man.
So we think he can help us more on offense, as he showed in the Spalding game.
Right.
And so we've let him focus more on that, and we've made some other move some guys around on defense and kind of accommodate that. Dorian Edmonds playing a little more defense for us at safety, as well as still running the football for us, and it's worked out, and hopefully that'll continue to pay off going forward.
Yeah. So, again, you coming in, you have that week, you have time enough to, like you said, you had a real off week. I mean, they didn't have to do hardly anything because they couldn't, but the body's healed up. So going forward now, Coach, we're going to talk just a minute about maybe the younger kids that you've been nurturing, the C team, the JV team, and how this season really played out for them, because we mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, they need encouragement, they need work, and you're trying to get them to put in the work to get quality games, quality reps in a game against a formidable opponent. Right. to help them develop, because until you've been in the fire, Coach, you don't know what it's like, and you're not going to get any better.
Yeah, those developmental teams are important, trying to get a lot of guys reps down there. As we said before, we have a JV and a C team. JV is our 10th graders and our 11th graders. Our C team is our 9th graders with some 10th graders mixed in there, just so we can have enough guys to fill out a team without everybody playing both ways and not getting quality reps.
Yeah.
And they've done well. Our JV is 4-1 on the year. We had two games that one was canceled and then one we lost during the hurricane week. So we're trying to reschedule at least one of those, hopefully.
Good.
Our C team is 2-2 on the year, and they play this Thursday at home against Bleckley County's JV. And so, that C team a lot of times has to play local JVs, or they have to travel to play other C teams or other true ninth grade teams, because not many programs in our area have a full ninth grade team.
Yeah.
But those guys have done well. We've gotten a lot of reps with those guys, seen a lot of good development with those guys. Being in the weight room is going to help them going forward as well. But getting on the field, getting in that fire a little bit, and getting some film on them, seeing what they can do, really helps us evaluate where they are and where they need to be going forward.
Yeah, and you try, Coach, I know obviously you would try to develop that talent, break those habits that a young person would have, very defensive end or what have you, and they want to choose inside. You got to make them break that habit to,
Right.
to set the outside, to set that edge. Same thing for your linebackers, outside linebackers. Your down linemen going to choose the side a lot of times. You have to break those habits. And if you don't see what they do, no
Right.
matter who it's against, but when you set up against, let's just say Bleckley or Vidalia, let's just say Toombs or, Dublin, whoever it may be, you're looking at a JV team that's playing, again, kids that are just coming up to the high school.
Right.
I mean, and you talk about, we talk about development.
Yeah.
Kids develop differently, and a year or two makes a lot of difference on a 15 to a
Oh, yeah.
16-year-old or 17-year-old.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, you have to take that into consideration, I guess, with how they do, with the scores on some of the games that you see
Oh,
are
yeah,
lopsided.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
hey, what do you expect? You just trying to get, again, that quality rep and
Right.
teach them discipline, teach them how to play the game, break the habits early on that any ball player is going to make, or most ball players going to
Yeah,
make.
definitely.
You're looking for the physical guys who want to play ball.
Right.
How do you feel about that class? Each class that comes in, you kind of judge on it. You'll have a class come through. Sometimes you're like, man, that's a big class. You've got some kids in there. We got. So how do you feel about that group coming up to ninth graders? I guess they'd be.
Oh, they're doing a great job. They're really getting after it in the weight room. This year we were able to get them all into weight training together in one block. And those guys are really feeding off each other and growing and seeing gains and buying into what we do in the weight room and learning our routines in the weight room. On the field, they've done a good job. Again, they're 2-2 on the year. Last year our C team, I don't think, won a game last year, playing against some really tough opponents. And this year playing many of those same opponents. Our C team's doing a good job of really hanging in there. Lost one close game and really took a bad loss in another one, then won 2 games. They didn't win last year. So again, it's a developmental league. I don't really put a lot of stock in the score or the record with those guys. I want to see them out there competing, doing what we do, running our offense, running our defense, cleaning up those little things you talked about, being assignment sound and hustling. That's the big thing that you have to teach those young guys. They come from the rec leagues or from middle school, and oftentimes they don't understand that the intensity level, the hustle, the effort that you have to give at high school football in Quad A is a little bit different, than what you've been used to giving. And so we really try and beat that into them, not taking plays off, flying to the football, blocking till the whistle, those kind of things that are little things that you got to really instill in those young guys early before they get ready for the Friday night battles.
Yeah, I love that word hustle, man.
Yeah.
You can't get enough of it.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell a lot of times when kids coming on and off the field what kind of team they are, how they're going to play, and coaches, other teams pay attention to that. You look at a team that plays and you start looking at, you put a couple scores against a team and then you start watching 1 or 2 heads.
Right.
And a coach will read that. An opponent or coach will read that and they pick on those kids and you do the same thing,
Right,
Coach.
right.
I know you do. But,
Yeah, absolutely.
and we talk about that class coming in. What kind of numbers? Is it about average?
Yeah, we have, around here, our ninth grade class will usually be between 25 and 30, depending on the year. Last year's was a little smaller. I think we had like 22 last year. We got closer to 30 this year, which is normal for here. Some of the teams we play will have 50 or 60 ninth graders, the bigger schools, but 30's about, if we can get 30 ninth grade kids and keep most of those kids in, I feel pretty good about going forward. That's about what we end up averaging, and we've got about that this year. We've got really good kids in the class this year who, like I said, work hard, who want to play football. And football's the kind of sport where it's not one of those things where, if you got to beg a kid to play, he's not going to help you a whole lot because it's physical, it's hard. You're not in an air-conditioned gym. You're not doing things that you're out there in the sun all summer, working, sweating, and grinding out there. And you put the pads on and you're just banging on each other every day. It's tough, And those young guys, a lot of them end up on scout team and have to earn their stripes and pay their dues and go out there and go against the varsity in some situations. And it helps them get tougher mentally and physically. And it's a tough thing, so it's hard. A lot of teams put a lot of stock in numbers. Hey, we got 150, 160 on the football team. Well, that's fine. We could do that too, if we really, really wanted to. But I want to make the program tough. I want to make it something that the kids want to be a part of because it's difficult and it's rewarding, rather than just, let's get everybody out there and throw a jersey on them and parade our numbers around, I think sometimes the football team can kind of be like church. You may have a lot of numbers, but how many of those numbers are really serving and really being a part of what you're doing there? And that's sad to say, but I think our kids are all in. I think we've got some good kids who really get after it and are beneficial to our program.
Praise the Lord.
Amen.
We'll take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Chuck Hartwell from Community Bank, and I would like to remind you that we're here to help you with all your financial needs. We can help you with loans for almost everything from getting married, buying your first car, getting ready for a new baby, buying a house, or going to college. You see, we're the bank that lives up to our name, Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County. We're Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County, where common sense banking never goes out of style.
Fairview Fitness Center, open 24/7 with staffed hours available every day. Fairview Fitness Center, serving our community for over 30 years. Push your fitness further with our gym facilities, fitness classes, freestyle areas, and more. Join today and see the benefits of a healthy life. All new members are provided with a complete health assessment upon request, and new members are provided with a fitness orientation to familiarize themselves with exercise equipment, all by one of our staff exercise physiologists. For more information, call 353-1900. Visit us at 200 Industrial Boulevard behind Fairview Hospital or log on to fairviewfitness.com.
The City of Dublin's Natural Gas Department is offering a $1,000 rebate on the purchase of a natural gas, stove, furnace, and tank or tankless water heater for new construction homes or if you're remodeling your home. Individual rebates include natural gas tankless, up to $400 rebate and free gas service installation. Natural gas tank, free 40-gallon or $200 rebate on other sizes, free gas service installation. Natural gas furnace, $200 rebate. Natural gas stove, $100 rebate. Natural gas dryer, $100 rebate. Natural gas grill, $100 rebate. Natural gas logs, $100 rebate. Maximum yearly rebate? No maximum. Save now. Save later. Call the City of Dublin Natural Gas at 277-5048.
All right, we're welcome back again out at West Lawrence High School, and we're talking football with Coach McLean. Again, we're coming back, and we're thinking how tough you have to make this program, Coach, because you have good kids, you have people who, by and large at West Lawrence, the system is a good system. You have, kids who have pretty good home lives. Life's pretty good for most of the kids that come through. And so, you got to bring them from a real comfort level to, again, you got to put that fire in that gut, or you got to see enough in them that that's a kid that I can develop. And so as you've come along this year, you've had some kids that have really developed fast. They're good, they're athletic, they're tough kids. They've gotten stronger over the years, and you put them in a position. And so here you are, a couple of games into the region, you got a real tough team. I mean, probably a team that, you could look around and you'd be hard pressed to find a team that could beat Mary Persons right now in our area, and you probably drive a long way in the truck before you found one.
Yeah, they're a really good football team. This is definitely, in my opinion, I've been here since 2011, and this is the best Mary Persons team I've seen.
Yeah.
They're really solid in every phase of the game. They're ranked number 2 or 3 in some polls. I personally think they might be the best team in Quad A this year. So it's a great opportunity for us to go out and find out what we're made of.
Yes, sir.
We're not unaccustomed to playing those tough teams. We played Warner Robins past few years. We've tried to get some tough. We played Chris County this year. We've tried to get some historically tough physical teams on our schedule to kind of show us what we're made of, to get us ready for games like this. Mary Persons is 2-0 in the region, and they've rolled through both games fairly easily so far. I hope we can slow them down a little bit and we can play Raider football and we can give ourselves an opportunity to win the game. But I mean, when you play teams like that, I tell the kids there's two types of responses. You can get scared and you can say, well, I'm afraid to go out there and find out how good I really am, or you can get excited about the opportunity that's ahead of you. And I think most of our kids are excited about the opportunity. I think they're going to go out there and play tough. I think we're going to be physical. And, I told them, I said, if we go out and we play Raider football, we fly around, we're physical, we get after it every play from the beginning to the end, whatever the score says at the end, I'm going to be okay with, as long as we gave our best effort. If we go out there and we act afraid and we act scared and we don't, play our game, then I'm going to be disappointed. So.
Of course, yeah. And it's a common thing for people to say past experiences are indicative of future performance. And every time, Coach, you've put a team on a field against a opponent that is an excellent competitor, you usually have your kids coached up to rise to the occasion, Coach. They play hard. They're in the right position. They've had the reps, and hopefully you've gotten there even with your time off, but the reps to know what they're going to do. It's one thing to get beat. It's one thing that kid's better that time on that play. And then your kid goes back, your young man goes back, gets in position and does it again and makes the play the next time. He may get beat on one, but he's going, out of 2 out of 3, he's going to try to make them. But playing tough competition, as we all know, Coach, makes us tougher. It makes us better. It not only makes your team this year better, but your team better in the future.
Right, and you want to play those good teams and those good programs, because then you see what a winning program's like, and hopefully you can strive to be that one day. And Mary Persons, we get to play them every year in the region. We've had a lot of tough games with them, a lot of wars with them. Last year they got us pretty good up at their place. I think it was 28-9. But that was a game that was 14-9 going into the half, and they scored right before halftime, and they were a really good team last year, and our kids fought and played, and we're a little outmatched at times, but I was proud of the way they responded. The second half held them to 7 points the second half, and really could have shut them out in the second half, other than they had a big 4th down conversion down in our territory they scored on, which credit them for that. But I was proud of the way we played. I'm just hoping our kids will go out and they'll play. If they'll play, we can be in any game, and even the ones we aren't in, if we'll give that great effort, then I'm happy, because I think it's going to help us moving forward with this final stretch of 3 games that are important for us if we're going to make a playoff push at all.
Yeah, you'll find out who really wants to play ball this week.
Amen. That's right.
Because they're going to hit you in the mouth, and you got to be able to get, it's like they say, what you going to do when you get punched in the mouth.
That's right.
It's easy to throw punches when nobody's punching back, Coach.
Right.
But that, and we'll see that Friday night. Now, there's a couple things we want to look at, Coach, in Friday night. It's senior night, just because it's the last home game. So how many seniors you have this year?
We've got 18 seniors.
Hello.
So we are going to graduate a good many of those guys. But, a lot of our underclassmen do start.
Yeah.
We're going to lose a good bit on the offense next year.
Yeah.
We'll have 7 returners on defense coming back, because we only got 4 seniors on the defense this year. So I feel pretty good about that. I think we got some guys that can step in there. But, the seniors we've got graduating have been guys that have been a part of this program pretty much their whole careers. Great kids who have worked hard, who have been through a lot of successful years at West Lawrence, and we're proud of the effort they've put in, the time they've put in, the hard work they've put in. And, we're going to honor those guys at the last home game this Friday night, and hope they go out and they finish their possibly last home game, depending how the playoff situation works out. But their last regular season home game, hope they go out with a bang and really give us great effort.
Yeah. So we want you to turn out Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. It's really important. Not only do we recognize on senior night the football players, we should make sure we let everybody know we recognize the cheerleaders, the band, flag corps, those who are involved in sports this time of year, right?
Right, yeah, definitely, because it's not just a football program. The band's a big part of Friday nights. The cheerleaders are a big part of Friday nights. There's our dance team and all the people that are involved. with the Friday night experience, and those seniors have worked hard too, and they deserve recognition for the time they've put in for the program that they love.
Yeah, because that's what it is all about, Coach. If we just showed up and played the game, there was no cheerleaders, there was no band, just had the parents of the players there, it would take so much away from the experience. And those people want to be part of cheering on the team. Those people want to be a part of, again, that Friday night experience. Absolutely. And you do too, ladies and gentlemen. Amen. You want to come out there Friday night, and you want to wear your blue, you want to bring your noise makers, you want to support the team, good and bad. Those programs who are successful over time have fans who support the teams in good games and in games that are going to be tough. You got to get in behind the players. It's imperative to keep the program growing. When you have good men at the helm, when you have coaches who are working very hard and putting players in the right position. And if you don't know much about football, find somebody who does and let them tell you what's going on. Coach will always say, well, I missed this play, and he'll point them straight out to you, whatever he missed a prior game. But that's going to happen sometimes. It's just like with any of us in life. You can't get everything right. But by and large, coaches put players in position to win the game if they can just execute what needs to be done.
We try. That's what we spend our hours doing.
Hours and hours, don't you? So let's talk just for a minute. We'll take another short break. We're going to come back. We got a couple more questions for Coach, so you stay tuned, okay?
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
Hi, I'm Locke Wilford, and Dublin Chevrolet is proud to sponsor high school football.
Go Crusaders! Go Raiders! Go Falcons! Go Irish! Go Chevy!
Call, click, or come by Dublin Chevrolet.
You wouldn't buy a gallon of milk and immediately pour 70% of it out, would you? Then why would you do that with power for your home? 70% of electricity is lost on the way to your house, making it only 30% efficient. But natural gas is 92% efficient. Electricity is good to power your lights and electronics, but using natural gas for certain appliances is the most cost-effective, energy-efficient, and environmentally friendly mix for your home. Use it, don't lose it. Choose the right energy mix. Choose natural gas.
Hey, I'm Kyle Williams. This is my wife, Allison. These are our 3 children, Luke, Vivian, Finn. I grew up in Lawrence County. One name you always heard was Jimmy Rogers. As I got older, it was time to build a home. We met with Jimmy Rogers. We had an instant connection.
Yeah, Mr. Jimmy is like a father figure to us. He helped us through every step of the way, and we really appreciate everything that he did for us.
So we as a family are coming to you now. Please vote Jimmy Rogers for County Commissioner, District 4.
Hello, I am Jimmy Rogers, and I am running for County Commissioner of District 4 of Lawrence County. I'm just asking for your prayers, your support, and your vote on November the 6th, 2018. Please go to the polls and vote Jimmy Rogers, County Commissioner, District 4, and may God bless.
Okay, Coach, so I want to just talk just for a minute about the coaching experience that you have. When football season hits, just give me an average week, give me an average hours a week that you put in out here.
Oh man, it's it varies, but depending on what part of the year you're in with football season.
This part.
But this part of the year, yeah, I mean our guys, our staff are working. We're working 6 days a week, and we're working close to 12 hours a day on most of those days. Counting your teaching responsibilities. We're here at 7:30 in the morning, and we don't leave before 7:30 or 8 at night every night. Practice might end at 6:15 or whatever, and then we're staying and we're watching practice film, and we're evaluating practice film as a staff and what we need to do for the next day, and practice schedules for the next day, and making sure our personnel's right, and all the issues that go with running a team that's got 90 kids on it. 3 teams really that has 90 kids on it, and you're getting ready for your C team games and your JV games, and we're really a little understaffed right now. We're going to have to hopefully get that rectified next year, but we're out there with 8 assistant coaches and running 3 teams at a quad A program, and it's tough, But our guys work hard, and they spend a lot of times away from their families during this time, so we try to do whatever we can to alleviate that. I'm not going to be one of those guys that says we're going to be here just to be here. We're going to work, and when the work's done, I'm going to send them home to their families and let them go and be on Sundays. You know, especially on Sundays, you know, we come in at 2 on Sundays to game plan, and I've been on staffs where you'll stay from 2 o'clock till midnight on Sundays. And then, you know, if that's what you feel like you need to do, I understand that. But, you know, I feel like if we're efficient, and we are, you know, we can get done by 8:30 that night, and we're going to go home and see our families before we go to bed and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you know, we take Saturdays off because I believe, you know, I'm not going to bring them in every day. We let them go and have a day with their families during the season. You need that, you know.
Sure you do.
But our coaches work hard, and they spend a lot of hours up here during the season, and we appreciate that. And it really shows with the success that we've been able to have the past few years. You know, I know we're not putting state championship rings on or anything like that, but when you look back at the history of West Lawrence High School, I think that since 2013 until now, that's been the most successful run of years they've ever had. You know, and that's because those coaches work hard and those kids work hard, and they bought into what we're trying to do.
And if I may just look back for a moment, last year's class was the winningest class that West Lawrence had ever had come through.
Right. They had the most wins of any senior class in the history of West Lawrence. They won a region championship. They finished second 3 years in the region. They made the second round or better of the playoffs every year. They hosted a playoff game every year. So, you know, they did a lot of things, and I'm hoping this year's senior class will continue that.
Yeah. All right, but when we look at it, and a lot of people don't realize, I mean, everybody knows we're in a day of technology where technology is advanced, and we should be able to be more efficient due to that technology. But you guys come back in and you upload practice film immediately, and you send it to all the players. You send it to the scout guy. You send it to the first string quarterback. You send it to everybody, and they're to assess their assignment and see how they did and look at that play over and over. And so if you practice it, if you give them the reps on the field, and then you give them the video to see what they're doing, I mean, you should be leaps and bounds ahead, and you should be efficient, as you're saying, where you don't have to set them in the same room with a pointer and sit there and go over and over it, you know, because again, you're giving them the reps, you're telling them what they're doing, they're looking at the video, you come back the next day and start fresh. And we appreciate the work that you and the coaches put in, and we should all think and we should all pray that the right man comes in to be able to help you.
Oh yeah, we can always use good help.
Yeah, because programs with 40 kids, 45 kids have 12 coaches a lot of times around us, you know, and not trying to, you know, be all out in comparison. Sometimes one man take the place of two, and it'd be good to find that man. So we'll just wish the best on that, Coach, and the best again for Friday night. So we want you to turn out, Raider fans. Don't sit at home on your hands. Don't sit at the game on your hands. Get loud and get proud to be a Raider, and we'll see you Friday night right here at West Lawrence. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
West Lawrence Raider Coaches Show brought to you in part by Dr. Jackson Fordham, DMD. Call for an appointment today.
A lot of people don't know that Nationwide Insurance is the largest farm insurer in the country. Example, this tractor. There's multiple ways to cover your equipment. It is replacement cost, actual cash value, insuring the GPS system on it. In addition to tractors, we also cover any implements that you would like to cover. Like this front end loader has a value added to your tractor or on its own. A lot of times, the only way we will insure a farm is if we come to your site. We're gonna walk it, we're gonna talk it, we're gonna find out what you do and what your interests are. We're going to customize it so that you get full benefit with the broadest coverage that's available on the market today. A lot of people find out at the time of a claim that they were not properly covered. That is my worst fear. So we make sure going in that you are covered properly. Don't forget to insure your sprayer. A lot of people say, I rode by and didn't see you at your office. That's because I was probably on a farm.